Hey guys, this is Isabella Illustrations here and welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be a little different. Today I'm going to be doing a review for Shadow and Bone Season 2 on Netflix, which I highly recommend you guys watch. It is a fantastic show and I think it's one of my favorite shows. Alright, so I wrote a ton of things down on my phone. I'm going to go over each and every one with you guys. So, for you guys to understand most of the things I say in this video, you have to understand I do ship Alina and Alexander together. I mostly shipped the versions of them in Season 1 where they were happy before he used her for her power. I don't condone any of the bad stuff he did to her. It was cruel, and I understand that they could never be together. In reality, it's just a ship that I think of in my head. Fan fiction I read for that, but I don't condone any of the behavior and the things he's done to her. It's unforgivable, and I understand that. But there was a time when they could have been happy, and he just destroyed that. So it's his fault it couldn't work out. Anyway, so to start this off, I wanted to say that in the show, Alexander calls Alina many times my Alina, which was really sweet to my shipper heart. But this season, he was definitely a lot darker, and that's why I had a harder time kind of shipping them this season. It was really hard because he was really dark, and it was really hard for me. But the times he called her that really pulled at my heartstrings because it showed that he does still care for her, and he did have genuine feelings, and he's not a complete monster, which is good to hear. Also, Alexander's mom, Baghra, in the show, told him that there was a time when basically he could have earned Alina's love, which is true, because at a point in Season 1, she did start to care for him too, because she kissed him first in the first season. But because of his wanting to use her power, he destroyed that, which is true, and I'm glad she called him out on it, because it is true. It's his fault. He's the reason he can't have her, and he has to accept that. Next, I love that they talked about, they showed Alina's trauma after what he did to her at the end of Season 1. Because she trusted him, he made her feel like she belonged, and then he betrayed her, he used her. And it's hard when we trust somebody so much, and then they use us, and they hurt us. It is so hard, and it's so painful to deal with, and I like that they showed her dealing with that, because in the books it really wasn't shown, so I liked that change a little bit. There were a lot of changes from the book. Some of them I enjoyed, some of them I did not, but one of them that I liked, I do ship Alina and Mal as well. In the show, they're adorable, especially this season. They were so sweet, and it really made me feel so happy that Alina has somebody who can make her happy. It really does, because she deserves it. She really does. So, something that happened in the books that didn't happen in the series was that Alexander did take the king's place for a while and became king himself of Ravka, which I liked in the books. They didn't go that route, but they did talk about it. Alexander talked about taking the king's place to make the world better for Grisha, and it didn't end up going that route, so I was a bit disappointed they didn't do that, but whatever, right? They do what they want with the show. I don't have anything to do with the show. Something they did in the show, again, that they didn't do in the books. So Kaz told Inej about Pekka killing his brother. He never tells her about that in the Six of Crows books. So the fact that he did it in the show was... it tore at my heartstrings, because I ship those two like crazy. And it just shows how much he can open to her. It just takes him time, and I can understand. He and her have been through so much trauma, and they definitely show that trauma and backstory a little bit more this season, which I liked. But I like that they can help each other through it a little bit, and I really enjoyed that in this season. Alina admits in this season to Baghra that, yes, she feels betrayed by Alexander, as I said before. The one person who made her feel special and that she belonged. And she has every right to feel that, but she had a hard time admitting it this season, which makes sense, because, as I said before, when we trust somebody so blindly and then they hurt us, it's really hard to deal with that. And I felt really bad for her. In the show, Alexander has this new power, and these shadow monsters called the Nichivoya. He can't control them, so they accidentally kill his mother, and he didn't want that to happen. He was so upset, he was so angry, and it made me so sad for him because it shows that he does have a heart. He can love Alina, and he can love his mother, and he could never kill her, even though his mother has destroyed his plans time and time again, just like he did in season 1. She did in season 1. He still loves his mother and he could never hurt her, and that shows to me that there's still some good there, because only a monster could kill their parent on purpose. And I get he's done a lot of bad things, but the fact that he couldn't even kill his own mother says a lot. It means that he can love. People who are monsters aren't complete monsters. And that feels like a good message. But then again, the same thing almost happens to Alina too. The Nichivoya strike out while she's attacking him and try to kill her, and he does everything to stop it, and he does. And it shows how much he loves her. He cares for her, even though he's angry that what he wants to happen between them can't because she can't forgive him. And he's angry at himself too. It shows that he does care about her. He does show it in certain ways, and I think that that's definitely shows that there's more to a villain. There are deeper levels than we can see. At the end of the show, Alina and Mal separate, which did kill me, but at the sense it made sense narratively, because Mal thinks that the only reason he was ever in love with Alina in the first place was because he was an amplifier and he was meant to be with her because of that. And he has to see now that without being an amplifier anymore, he has to see that if they are meant to be together, it has to happen on their own terms. It can't be destiny doing it to them. So if he comes back to her, he says then they were meant to be, which makes total sense. It just does hurt because now I have to see them separate and it hurts. But I see it makes sense narratively that they had to do that, because in the books they didn't, but it does make sense. So I'm glad that they did that. They teased the next duology, which is weird, because I thought they were just going to do the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I didn't think they were going to do any of the other books. So that's a bit weird, but I guess I'm excited that they're doing all the books, but it just felt a bit weird. In Alexander's final moments before he dies, he admits that he's lived so long, but the only time he ever felt peace was when Alina, kissed him in season 1. The only time he felt peace in his whole lifetime was with her. And that did make me feel good. It made me like, a monster can love. There are deeper layers than any of us can imagine. And I thought it was beautiful. The ending, though, kind of killed me, not gonna lie. They end it differently than they do in the books. In the books, because Alina takes down the Fold at the end of this season. In the book, she loses her powers after she gets the third amplifier. She doesn't lose her powers in this. And I get that people in the books didn't like her losing her powers, but the way they ended the season kind of scared me. I'm worried for Alina. We never get a corruption arc in the books. And I thought if they ever did do one, it would be because of Alexander. But that doesn't seem to be the case. After she kills Alexander, she still has her power, everything. But she does something at the end of the season. She kills somebody with that power because they were killing everybody in the room in a certain scene. And she did the right thing, but at the same time, she at first was concerned. She's like, oh my god, what did I do? But then after that, she smirks like she enjoys it. And from what I've heard from interviews, she does enjoy being powerful. And I'm scared. Because now that Alina doesn't have her villain, Alexander, there to show her what she doesn't want to become, I'm afraid she might go to the dark side. And I'm very scared of that. I'm scared of what the power will do to her. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I know in the end she's going to probably end up, she's going to have her happily ever after, because that's how it does end in the books. But just right now, I don't know what's going to happen with her, because this doesn't happen in the books, so it's kind of scary. I hope her friends will help her. And the last thing I have to say about this season is that it felt like they went through the books too fast. Season 1 felt great. It felt paced properly. Everything felt great. The problem with Season 2 is they got through 2 of the books, and so they finished the whole trilogy so far. And I felt like it was too fast. It was too much in one season. It felt like it was just way too fast. I thought they were going to do Season 1 on Book 1, Season 2 on Book 2, and Season 3 on Book 3, etc. I felt that would have been better because I felt like they went too fast with this. I felt like, yes, they want to do all the books, but at the same time, I thought that this is a show called Shadow and Bone. I thought they were only going to do the trilogy. So the fact that they went through it so fast this season, it kind of felt wrong, especially since Alexander was supposed to be the main villain of this whole series, right? And now he's already dead second season. I mean, in the duology that takes place after this, he does come back from the dead. But I don't know if they're going to do that, because in the books, people were like, you did this for fan service. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they will bring him back. I hope Mal comes back. I don't know what's going to happen. And that's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. But overall, I really loved the season. It was emotionally really straining for me. I'm going to need time to heal from this experience, because it really emotionally hit me hard. Sorry about my brother. Anyway, that's my review for Shadow and Bone Season 2. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys watch it, because you have to watch it in the first 28 days. Because that's what they look at in terms of numbers to see if they're going to do a Season 3. So please go and watch it. It's an amazing fantasy series, and I highly recommend it. So thank you guys for watching.